is back. So now it's time for my top 10 least favorite movies of 2019. So this time I don't have any dishonorable mentions, but I did have a tie for number 10 because I just couldn't decide between which one should be on the list, and honestly they both deserve it. So number 10 tied with Dr. Sleep and Charlie's Angels. Now, Dr. Sleep, I was really excited for based on the trailer before I realized it was connected to The Shining. So, I didn't actually see The Shining until a week before seeing this movie, and maybe that was the biggest mistake I could have made because I was really bored by The Shining. So going into this movie, I was still really excited to see Dr. Sleep, but I'm like, if I didn't like The Shining, am I really going to like this? Now, this movie was not the longest I've seen this year, but it was probably one of the most boring. And I really enjoyed Rebecca Ferguson, her character. She was fantastic, but anything else, it just kind of dragged and it was boring. And I didn't really enjoy the movie in the slightest. And then, Charlie's Angels. I liked the reboots. I liked the original movies. I was not interested in this at all, but I liked the actresses they had. I was really excited to see Kristen Stewart in something else, because ever since Twilight, she has done a lot of indie films, and a lot of the indie films are fantastic, but she hasn't done a big Hollywood movie. So I was excited to go see this, and I was just really disappointed. The whole movie is basically like, let's us change clothes and then go to a different location. The storyline is shit. The action is shit. It's basically just to shit on men. And no one gives a fuck. Like, we want a good action movie. You don't need to hate one gender to make a good action movie for women. There's a lot of fantastic action movies out there that have lead character females, and this was not one of them. It was complete garbage. Number 9 is Queen Mary of Scots. I was so excited to see this movie. I don't even really know why. The trailer looks fantastic. The actresses, I love them. I was just excited to see this movie. And it was so shit. Like, it was boring. It was a mess. The makeup and costumes was fine. But the performances were just so tired. You could see halfway through the movie they just gave up on life. I decided to give up on life. Everyone in the cinema probably gave up on life. Whoever watched this movie has given up on life while watching it. It was shit. If you haven't seen Queen Mary of Scots, you really aren't missing a thing. It was just garbage. And that brings me to my next garbage film, which a lot of people love. I don't understand why. Us. So I actually really loved the movie Get Out. I was really excited when this was announced. Like, I like Jordan Peele. I like what he presents. And this movie was just, it was so boring. It was stupid. Like, the idea that there is a doppelganger of you that does the exact same thing you do, just underground. Like, it's interesting. It's an interesting premise. And it could have been really interesting. And yet they just basically ate a bunch of shit and just shit out into a film reel, and this is the film Us. It makes no sense. There are so many different theories out there, and the theories are cool. The theories make more sense. The theories would make a more interesting movie than this absolute shit. So, if you haven't seen Us, again, you're not missing anything. Just go watch Get Out and remember when he made a good movie. The next movie is Godzilla, King of Monsters. Now, I have to admit, I didn't really like the original Godzilla with Bryan Cranston. I was not in a good mood when I saw that movie, so I kind of really hated it. I think I was a bit unfair of it just because I was in a bad mood. But I was in a really good mood when I saw this movie, and it is so much worse than the other one. I actually really appreciate Godzilla with Bryan Cranston in it for the little role he had, and I just hated this. It was so boring. Basically, any movie on this list was boring or just weird, and I don't understand who liked this movie. How this movie made any money? It was such a disappointing mess, and it could have been really good. It could have been really, really interesting, and it was just nothing. The next movie which I really, really wanted to pretend didn't exist and even put on this list, but that is Dark Phoenix. Now, unlike everyone else, I actually really loved X-Men The Last Stand. I loved X-Men Wolverine. My opinion on X-Men movies aren't really to be trusted. I loved pretty much all of them until this point. Dark Phoenix was just a fucking train wreck. It is like a car crash you can't look away from. You know it's shit while watching it. It's shit. The story just shits over the characters over and over and over again. It is not worth watching if you haven't seen it. I own every single X-Men movie, but I'm never buying this one. This one does not exist. It has deleted from my memory after this review because holy shit, what were they thinking? Like, how can they make such a bad movie, especially with such an amazing cast? Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy could not save this movie. They could have hot sex in this movie and they would not save it. It was garbage. Nothing can ever save this movie other than deleting it from my memories. So, don't see that. The next movie is Hellboy. Now, I don't even know how this movie was so bad, but it managed it. The storyline is so simplistic and yet stupid. How can you take such a simple story and just turn it into such a stupid story? As Hellboy has been done, they redid it, and it's somehow worse. Like, the performance, I was expecting really great things, and it wasn't. Milla Jovovich, I love her, I adore her, and she just did not care in this performance. The best scene from this movie was already spoiled in the trailer, and once you get to the scene, it's over like that. It is not worth the time and effort it takes to sit down and put this movie on. There is so many better movies out there about comic book characters that you never ever have to watch Hellboy. So save your time, don't watch it. The next movie, oh god, is Midsommar. So many people thought this was such a unique and extraordinary horror movie. They were saying it's the best movie that you'll ever watch this year. It's the best movie you'll ever watch. I am convinced that every single person that said this is the best movie you'll ever watch, this is the best movie this year, has never seen a fucking movie in their life because it's shit. Everything about this movie is bad. The story is bad. The bloody acting. I love the actress in this. I love the actors, and they are appalling with how bad they are in this movie. They overact to death. Maybe that's what the director wanted, but that's damn sure not what I wanted as an audience. The cinematography sure is beautiful. The editing is fantastic, but most people watch the movie because they want a good storyline, they want a good performance. They don't care if your scenery is beautiful. Go the fuck outside and have a look at the landscape. Don't go see Midsommar. Just go watch the beach or something. Do something bad with your time. Surprisingly, with how much I hated this movie, I am surprised as some before, but then we come to the top 3, which is Parasite. Now, this had raving reviews. I have not met another person that hates this movie. To be fair, a lot of people haven't seen this movie. It is a Korean film. A lot of people I know don't really watch foreign films, so I haven't really discussed this film with anyone. But so many people are like, oh, it's funny. It's such a great concept. It's an interesting dialogue about the poor and the rich in society. No, it's shit. It is complete utter garbage. It is not funny. It is not dark. It's not serious. There's nothing about this movie that I saw from other people's reviews. Everything that someone has said, I have not seen for myself. So I wanted to like this movie. I wanted to appreciate this movie. I generally do like a lot of Korean movies, and this was just a parasite sucking the life from me. Number 2 And I actually hate myself for watching this movie. So maybe I should be on this list. But number 2 is Sextuplets. So if you have Netflix, you might have seen the trailer for this. You might have seen the advertising. So it's Marlon Wayans. I love the Wayans family. I have always loved them. My Wife and Kids. Bloody scary movie. I love their stuff. It is ridiculous, but it's always been funny. White Chicks is ridiculous but funny. Little Men. But Sextuplets, oh my god, Marlon Wayans plays so many different characters. They're all very different, but they're all so over the top. They are all so ridiculous. Sure, he does a great job at being an actor because, hey, he's playing all these roles and not once does he slip up an accent or kind of the personality. But it was just such a garbage movie. And it's really short, but I hated myself so much for watching it. So if you haven't seen Sextuplets and it's on your list on Netflix, don't watch it. Delete it from your list. Give it an instant thumbs down because it is so bad. And somehow this movie on my number 1 beat all these other movies that I clearly love so very much. I love them all. And number 1 is Black Christmas. Now, I haven't seen the original. I haven't seen the remake of the original. I've only seen this one. So this one only came out about last month. And just holy shit. So essentially this is a movie marketed towards women to hate on men in Christmas time, and it's also a horror movie. So basically these women are being hunted to be murdered. And then it turns out it's the frat guys that are murdering these women to appease men, basically, to prove, like, if you don't bow down to men, you deserve to die, so bow down to us, like, women are nothing. Pretty much every man in this movie is horrible and a sexist pig or a rapist. Like, there is nothing decent about any of the men in this movie. They're either worthless or they want to rape you. This is the story of this movie. The women are fucking annoying beyond belief. I like the lead actress, but god, she is garbage in this movie. Everything about this movie was complete garbage, and they are wondering why it was such a box office fail. Watch the fucking movie and you'll know why it failed. And there's just been so many, like, articles come out since saying, if you don't like this movie, you're a misogynist. If you don't like this movie, clearly you're in an abusive relationship. If you don't like this movie, you're male. Like, there's a lot of reasons not to like this movie. And this is why it's my number 1, because I don't like this movie. And there's a million reasons why I don't like this movie. And if you haven't seen this movie, you're not missing anything. Don't watch it. Christmas time is over. Fucking why bother watching another Christmas movie? So that is my top 10, or really 11 if you want to get technical, of my least favorite movies of this year. If you haven't seen any of them, God, you are so lucky. I wish I didn't see any of them. And yeah, save your time. So to recap, number 10 tied 11 is Dr. Sleep and Charlie's Angels. Number 9 is Queen Mary of Scots. Number 8 is Us. Number 7 is Godzilla, King of Monsters. Number 6 is Dark Phoenix. Number 5 is Hellboy. Number 4 is Midsommar. Number 3 is Parasite. Number 2 is Sextuplets. And number 1 is Black Christmas. So thank you again for watching. I am very sorry about my rant, but it had to be done because these movies are shit and people should know not to see them. Please, Lord, don't go watch them for the fun of it after watching this. Save yourself. This is a call to save yourself. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you enjoyed my top 10 favorites of the year. If you haven't checked that one out yet, please do. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know in the comments below what movie you hated this year, if you agree, disagree with my list. Yeah, thank you as always for watching this year. And yeah, have a happy and safe New Year's. Bye.